Oh, live on Facebook.
Can you do a split screen?
It will do it in a second, I think.
Hi Gary on Facebook. This guy's just cooking there. I'm watching.
Oh, that's good.
Good
There's
to
your
go.
cookie.
Right, well, hello and welcome to the first live stream question and answer session from the Bankies during lockdown. Tonight I'm joined by the Backroom team, Assistant Manager Gary McMenamin and First Team Coaches Drew Marshall and Kirk Forbes. Thanks for joining us, lads. How are we doing in these times?
Good, David.
All right,
Hi,
how we
good.
doing?
Gaz, I'll start with you if that's all right. How have we been adapting and working as a squad during this lockdown?
Everybody's been different because some of the boys are still working, and I know the boys are still out doing a bit running, keeping themselves ticking over. We had a Zoom call with the players. Kirk had done a quiz with the players on Zoom. So we've still been interacting with everybody and keeping in touch, trying to make sure everybody's okay and coping and things like that. So we're, Davey.
Good stuff. Well, Drew, this one's from Bill. With the extended shutdown now into 6 weeks, how long do you think it will realistically take to get the team fighting fit?
It's probably a difficult one because it'll be a testing time because it'll be a long time since we've played. I reckon probably maybe in the region of about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. I would reckon probably, depending on how things go with the lockdown, you're probably talking maybe mid-June. Hopefully we'll maybe be able to start. If you say 4 weeks, that takes you up to mid-July, and then hopefully by that time you might be able to play games. So maybe a couple of weeks of friendlies, and then you could be ready to go for the end of July.
Ideal. Well, this is a question for, again, Gary, from Steve Latimer. Obviously, it is a bit early and we've got a lot going on just now, but how is the squad shaping up for next season so far?
Good. Well, we've been busy since the lockdown started, really. Speaking to players, trying to get our thoughts on the way we want to play for next season. Most of the squad were on 2-year deals anyway, so that helped us out actually. We keep the nucleus of that, and hopefully the players that we do bring in help the way we want to play. That the Bankies fans will be hopefully coming streaming back through the gates.
You mentioned that sort of playing style. How different do you think that will be from what we've seen this season so far?
See, the surface at home park, I'm not saying we're going to be the best passing team in the world, but on that surface, we want to pass the ball. It's not always possible, but that's the style we've been used to. So that's what we'll be aiming to get across to the boys. And to be fair to the players this year, I thought they improved a lot since we came in on that. They all listen. They're all wanting to learn, which is good. So hopefully the boys that we do bring in will help that as well.
I'll turn to you, Kirky, just now. This one's from Ryan Murray. What are the expectations of the management team, and what are the interim/long-term goals?
I think an immediate thing right now for the first 6 weeks leading up to pre-season is basically sorting the squad out. You know, obviously this situation, it's not ideal, but being able to see our squad first and foremost and speak to our boys. So I think over the next 3 or 4 days, certainly over the next week, the gaffer will have Zoom chats with the current squad and update them. Obviously, there's some out of contract and there's some on 2-year deals, and that will happen probably over the next week or so. Obviously, we can't say too much in here, but you know, between the 4 of us, we've evaluated the squad. So first and foremost, we need to be fair to the squad that we've currently got and the boys that we've currently signed 2-year deals, and everyone will have their say with the gaffer. In terms of long term, then we need to build a team come no matter what, whenever pre-season may be, build a team that's, as Gaz said, is ready to compete and go and challenge. I think not just our four as our management. I think everyone's expectations is to go and basically challenge this season, and not just for this season, to be fair, to the next 2 or 3 years, or how long maybe we be in charge, or whether we're not here. Clydebank have got to go and challenge. I think they've had that a lull period. So our goal was to put an exciting team in the park. As Gaz says, it's not always easy when we'll get things wrong, but we need to short term sort out our current squad, which we're in the process of doing. Bringing in, as all teams will, bring in a calibre player that we think we can work with, and in terms of not just characters for Clydebank, for the changing room. The gaffer's big in that, and the style we want to play, and sort of long term goal is challenging and at the right end of the table.
This was something that obviously Moss spoke about at the supporters meeting a couple of months ago, but how have you guys, but again, this will probably be for Kirky, how have you found the dynamic, and how does that work?
Well, listen, I think from the forefront, fans will probably look and say they're quite a tight four, quite a tight five we stick. It's probably quite a unique situation. You know, the fact that Gaz and the gaffer, they were always going to be a pair, probably, no matter whether me and Drew were involved at all. You know, it's been well documented. The gaffer said at times they're best mates, but you know, probably what a lot of people don't know is me and Drew are best mates. Me and Drew go way back from my amateur days. Drew was a scout at Rossvale, and that's how he became part of that. So it's quite unique that there's 4 of us, sort of 2 sets of best mates with 4, but I think people would be naive to think that it's all plain sailing and we agree on everything, and ultimately the gaffer gets a decision on what he decides. We challenge each other and we demand for each other. It's not all roses, and that's what it's got to be. You know, gaffer's brilliant at opening stuff up. He'll make a decision, but you know, as we challenge them, it's because Gaz is best mate, doesn't he challenge them? You know, I'll challenge Gaz will challenge Drew, and some things we don't agree on. That's the way it goes. Stig's obviously situation's a bit unique because none of us are goalkeeping coaches, so we need to rely on his expertise and his experience with that. I always find goalkeeping coaches quite a unique situation, and they're hard to come by, and he's been brilliant for us as well. He's been absolutely excellent, really good coach, knows his stuff, top guy, and he's a total asset to along with 4 of us. But it's gone all right so far, but I think our main challenge is a 4 and a 5 will come next season. But me and Gaz got on better now we're not playing together, that's for sure.
Very true.
Well, Kirky, just as you say that, Drew, I'll come to you for this one. You've obviously now worked with Kirk and Gary as players. How do they compare as coaches, and do you think you've seen a sort of change in them over that time?
I think they've adapted very well. I mean, to be perfectly honest, any manager or any coach is just a frustrated football player at the sides, and they were just they've really adapted really well, considering the amount of time that they've played football. Yes, they have their ups and downs at the sidelines. I think Gaz and Kirky obviously like to have chats with the referees and linesmen and things like that. But no, in general, I think they've done really well, considering it's very difficult to adjust, especially if you've played for such a long time. And it is difficult to turn around because you want to be able to go out and play football, and just sometimes your body isn't fit enough to do it. And to be perfectly honest, I've been there. I'm slightly older. I'm only a couple of years older than the rest of them. Do you know what I mean? So I know what it's like. But they've done really well. I must admit, they've done really well.
And how do your ears cope with Kirk in one ear and Gary in the other?
Well, I think Gaz likes to stand out next to him off. So, and I'm in the dugout hiding. So, and Kirky will jump back and forth between everybody. You know what I mean? So he's like, I can't get out in the dugout on the line. So, no, they've both done really well, and they're a valuable asset to the gaffer. And ultimately, that's what we're all there to turn around and help him as much as we can. And that's our job.
I'll come to Gary for this one. Is there anything that you've experienced playing under Moff that you've now taken into your own coaching style? I'll then pass that one to Kirky as well.
He's just, to be fair, just play. I've obviously just been finishing playing, but I think the gaffer and Kirky are very, very alike. So it's not just the gaffer I've been learning off. I've been learning off Kirky, to be honest. I think when the gaffer first went into Rossvale, I was always going, but I decided to finish playing at Rob Roy. It didn't work out that way. If I hadn't scored a hat-trick against Hurlford, I would have been away that day. I spoke to Kirky that night, but going into Rossvale and watching how they both work together, they just bounce off each other. And I think that's helped me just realise how I want to be as a coach, how to speak to boys and how to get your ideas across to boys so they buy into it. Because if boys don't enjoy it, they're not going to buy into it. But I think I can speak on behalf of the players and say they'll enjoy your training. It's as simple as that. It's all related, game-related stuff. It's not, we don't just do drills for the sake of doing drills. We try to relate it to a Saturday and who we're going to be playing. And I think Kirky must sit up on YouTube till like 4 a.m. and just watch drills. And he's got a book. Honestly, you should see this book, man. I'll get a body out one day.
I'll throw that same question to Kirky as well.
In terms of changing over the gaffer, listen, I'll be honest, I was very lucky underneath the gaffer I played. I know the actual stats because it's in my book, as Gaz says, but I was very lucky that I just came in and bounced off him. It's quite a unique situation. We just bounced off each other. He put me straight. I wasn't in the team when he came back, because when he came in, I was taking the team. And we just got on. Listen, like every player and manager will have their ding dongs. I've had my fair few, and I had a fair few of the gaffer. What I will say is what I've taken into playing under him and then become on his backroom staff is he's absolutely brilliant at calming situations down. And I think a lot of managers go into a situation and it's all guns blazing. He's very good at taking a step back, relaxing. I'm not so good at that. I'm still learning that I want to go in 100 miles an hour. So dare I say it, what I've learned from him is probably just to be a bit calm. Listen, at the side of the park, I just can't do it. I've said that in public. I don't go and watch a game and think who's looking at me and what I'm like. That's just me, and that's not going to change. But I appreciate I need to curb it at times. It's just what I will to win. The mistakes that the gaffer's made underneath me, probably the main one is not playing me. because he's won a league title and won a promotion 2 seasons in a row. So who am I to judge him? But I would probably just say that I've learned a bit of calmness from underneath him and in certain situations where you think, right, you want to go here, but no, just be calm. And he's absolutely excellent at that, to be fair.
Well, I'll stick with you, Kirky, for this one. Well, Owen asked about the player data information that you've received so far. Have you had to have any conversation with players who are not living up to the results expected through training, or have you seen players who have had their stats above what you've been expecting?
No. To be fair, the player data stuff is an evolving project. They're a new company as well, and we're a new client, so we're getting used to it as well. So, and I think I've made an interview a couple of weeks ago with you that we had some teething problems at the start with it, but now probably the last 4 weeks of the season, I think the 5 of us will agree it's a brilliant tool. I mean, it's top notch. It's I think players at the first put that thing on and they're going, oh, I've got that on. We need to try and create an environment where they're going into the park and they don't know that that's on. The numbers that they put out at the start, I generally didn't think they were that bad. But then when you see them putting in numbers at Halford away, Benburb away, Rossvale away, Benburb at home, the numbers were, some guys were running 10, 11k. I'm not telling you who, but some guys were running 10, 11k. I think, the team was going up collectively 7 to 10k, individual people at training. And, obviously the fans don't get to see the insight the data that we do, but you don't need to be a rocket scientist to look at our team the last 4 weeks of the season, bar the 2 midweek games that were obviously results-wise weren't great, that guys were looking fit. Guys were putting in big numbers, and it's a great tool. Obviously, Gary's used it as a player, so he might be different view. But for me, it's been brilliant, and it's going to be really important pre-season, that tool, because of the break that the players have had and what we're going to use it on, and they're developing the pod to be even better as well. They'll bring in sort of live data when you can see a player actually stats during the game. So it's been excellent so far, really good.
Gary, from your point as a player, how have you found it?
No, it's been very good. I think as soon as you put that wee pod on, your mindset is, I need to do more, straight without even realising you're going out and running more, running harder, just because people have got to see these stats. The coaching staff have got to see them. Well, apart from me, my stats were always low because I don't do much, but it's the stats are brilliant, and we used them very well towards the end of the season with like Nicky Little, who you could see how tired he was going by his stats because we know where he should be. So we gave him the night off training, just small things like that, just to try and get the feelings back in the legs and get the tiredness away. And it does help. And as Kirk says, pre-season it'll be huge because the boys are having a big layoff. So they are. So when they come back, the first day we see them with the pods on, it'll give us an indication of who's been working hard and who's not been.
In terms of stats, there's probably one man that we should come to, and that's Drew. In terms of a lot of fans will have seen your black binder at the side of the park. Can you give us a wee insight into the sort of level of prep that you do with analysis and set pieces, etc.?
Well, it's one of the ones where the gaffer's quite keen on defending corners, because ultimately, first and foremost, the gaffer hates losing goals, hates losing games, and having been a defender initially, that was one thing that he did do when we came in at Rossville. We've probably never ever done before. Was we done the defensive set pieces, so that we would try to minimise the amount of goals that we lost. So each person has a certain individual job, depending on the team. That then varies on week to week. So the gaffer, generally when we were at Rossville, and it was really because Gaz and Kirk were playing there, generally the gaffer and I would touch base on a Friday night. We would go through everything with regards to what we're doing on the Saturday. If there was bits and pieces we still had question marks about, we would confirm up some of it, and then we would sleep on the other things and then make the final decisions more or less prior to the game. So I would sort of try kind of figure out the best positions for each person. We took that on board. We took that with us to Clydebank. We've done exactly the same thing. We've enhanced it a wee bit with offensive corners, where we've tried to do 2 or 3 different things. And I don't really want to say too much, but I don't want to give too much away. But everybody's got certain jobs. I've got to try and think on my feet when before the game who's playing and whatever. And then sometimes you have to manage it actually when you make substitutes, which can be a bit difficult depending on whether a left foot or right foot or their height, good in the air, their height, whatever they might be. So it is testing, but it's very enjoyable because it's good when if something comes off from a set piece that you've worked on and you've spent a bit of time on, then you reap the benefits from it. And I think the gaffer is probably, when we were at Rossville, I think we maybe 10 or 12 goals from it. And I think at Clydebank, I think it's probably maybe in the same region as well. So it's maybe that could be the difference between a point and 3 points.
I want to pick up on something you said there. You were talking about that sort of man management element to it. Gary, is that something that you found most difficult between going from a player to a coach?
No, not really. I think I'm quite good with the players. So every club I've been at, I've had a good relationship with players, and away fans always hate me, but everybody, it's just the type of boy I am, I think. But even coming into changing rooms, players who I've played against, I've always said the same, I didn't think I'd like you, but that's just, I'm a winner on the part. I do what I do to win games, and that's just me. But as the man management is, I'm still close with players. I feel like me and Kirk are quite the bind between the manager and the players. If the players want to know something, they'll probably try and come through us first. Saves the gaffer getting all the headaches constantly. If me, Kirk and Drew can deal with it, it saves it going straight to the gaffer first. So no, I quite enjoy that part of it because, as I say, I was still playing. I'm integrating across fully now, so that's still a role for me to have, I think.
And Kirky, what's the hardest part been for you, sort of making that adjustment?
It's no playing. It's just simple as that. My intention was to obviously play out the season at Rossvale and look to retire, but they're just saying in the book, you just don't know what football brings. Probably initially when the gaffer came to me and asked me to Clydebank, I thought, brilliant, I'll be playing, and that quickly went up the Swanee, so to speak. So to be honest with you, it probably helped me because I think if it was during the season, if it was during the break, and then you've got that prolonged period of not having any football, and then going into a coaching role after playing, I think that'd been harder. I'd sort of left Rossvale, I think it was a Saturday, played Rob Roy, and I was in taking training on Tuesday at Clydebank, so I didn't really have any gaps, so to speak. I get right into it. The gaffer was quite open when I was having talks coming in that he wanted me just to go in hands-on take training. He's been brilliant with me that way. He knows what I'm like. I need to coach a certain way. I like to demand off myself the way I coach the boys, and he's never once thought, no, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. If you come in, he just let me go. So that transition has made it really easy. I remember speaking to Gaz before I came in and said, I don't know if I could come in and do this because I'm so used to playing. And Gaz was just like, don't be so ridiculous. But it was probably now it was an easier transition, but thinking back then, it was tough. But the one thing that I haven't done is that I've not changed my preparation as a coach to a game. I've always done the same preparation on a Friday night and a Saturday going to a game. I've not changed that. I think probably the biggest thing for me is you think about if it's possible, you can think about the game any more that I try and do, but I think about it even more because preparation is absolutely key in our jobs because, when me and Gaz were playing, we had an influence into the changing room and an influence into management, but we also had an influence in the park because we were playing. That's now gone for me and Gaz, albeit I'm still chatting for a deal for next season. That's gone, so I need to make sure that my job is preparation on a Tuesday and Thursday and a Saturday, that the guys don't have any excuses to come back on. So preparation's been, the gaffer's big on it anyway, but I think that's the biggest thing that I've had that, self-analyse as well that I've always done as a player. So that's the biggest thing. But I agree with Gaz that the transition's been quite smooth over. And that's a credit to the squad as well, just welcoming me in, the committee and all that. The committee have been brilliant. Caskie, Tracy, Grace's husband, Magnus, Stevie, all of them, Stuart, they've been brilliant welcoming you in as well. That's a massive thing as well, where if you came in, you feel comfortable and you can go and do your work without that. And then obviously they get to know you as well, get to know how much you're raving lunatic you are. So, and the squad's been brilliant, sort of getting to know you as well. Same with Gaz, I like that relationship with players. I think that's key. So yeah, it's been excellent in that way.
Well, I'll come to Gary now. This one's from Gordon, and he's asked about Andy Patterson. Given next season is his testimonial year, what are the plans?
Well, the plan for Andy is he's got another year's deal, so I'm assuming, spoken to him, Andy wants to play, simple as that. So he'll be coming back pre-season. I know what Andy's like. He's a model pro. Young boys should actually look up to him and what he's achieved at Clydebank. So he'll be coming in pre-season, pushing Burno as Burno will be pushing him. They both complement each other. So they do. If one's out, the other one's supporting them. It's as simple as that. It's the type of boys they are. So on his testimonial year, I'm assuming there is chats happening about it. I wasn't privy to them, but there is things in motion. But the only thing, as I said to the club can't deal with it. It needs to be somebody out with the club. So if one of the fans wants to get on board with organising things, I'm sure because we tried. When I was at Annan, we had a boy the same, and the club couldn't do anything for him. You had to get your own committee and organise it yourself. So, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of boys that would want to see Andy get what he deserves for the time he's given Clydebank, and that doesn't finish this year because he's still here next year. He's still got a lot to give.
That's a reassuring one for Gordon there. This is now a question I'll throw open to you all. If you could sign one player from football history to play for Clydebank with money being no object, who would it be and why would it be? That's from Eddie. So I'll come to you first, Drew, for that one.
Actually, probably one that I would probably comes to mind would probably be Paul Gascoigne, purely because he's magical with the ball and can win any game. I watched his documentary on Amazon Prime film about him the other day, and I thought it was so endearing, and I just think he's a magician in the park, and I think he would complement a Clydebank team, no problem at all.
Kirk?
Do you need to ask me? I would obviously go Lampard, Frank Lampard. Easy answer for me, no even question. Don't get wrong. Rangers daft, but yeah, Lampard, just always followed him, love him. I think he's absolutely class professional. Worked away from training as well. He's got a brilliant reputation. There's number 8, Rangers fan, played with Chelsea. Lampard all day for me.
Like a dog in midfield?
The dog is, believe it or not, the dog is coming. In lockdown. Just as you do in lockdown, you buy a dog. So I've bought a red city. I was on the phone to guys the other week there, so I've bought a red fox lab. So I collect him. Believe it or not, he was actually born on the 8th of April there. So I collect him from Liverpool round about, well, probably when lockdown's finished, probably about the 10th of June. Yeah, so the Bankies have got a new fan, and my mum's probably already kicking him out with a strip with 8 Lampard in the back. But yeah, so and then that's what I'm calling him. I'm actually calling him Lampard. So the fans will see him soon. He might even be playing.
And finally, Gary, if you could pick anyone, who would it be?
Brian Laudrup. When I was younger, when I could run, I was a winger. So I always used to look at wingers, and he was a magician as well. It was just unbelievable. So he was my hero growing up, and he's the one that would get the fans definitely flocking back.
Well, we'll move on to Scott McLaughlin's question, and that's quite a controversial one. I'm already nervous. It's on the topic of referees. Kirky, I know you're passionate on this one.
You can take that one.
I know Kirky's got an idea on this one. So if there was something that you could do, like to help with the relationships between management and officials, what would that be?
I don't know if I'm the right person to be speaking about referees, to be honest with you. I think that might be a tactical question, David. Listen, I'm no angel to side the part with referees, right? And I never will be. It's as simple as that. They've got a horrendous job. But I think, I was speaking to you earlier, David, or during the week, I would actually like to see the junior FA or the West of Scotland League set up and have, say, 2 and 3 induction days a season where it's voluntary. They invite managers in from all the leagues, invite them into Hampden and have an open day with them. And whether that's going over what the referees are doing training-wise, whether they're looking at video analysis, or it's first and foremost starting to build relationships. Referees already have an opinion on players and managers and clubs before they blow the whistle for the start of the game. That's a fact. And players and managers and coaches and supporters have an opinion of referees before their ball's kicked as well, right? So for me to help mould that, you need to start building relationships, because let's be honest, the way myself at times speak to referees is not good, it's not great, but also the way that they conduct themselves isn't great either. So I think that if you invited in managers and started building relationships and a bit of respect between supporters, fans, managers, and the hierarchy in that, whether they've got the kahunas to go and do that, I don't know, because they might think, well, that will just be a day out for managers to go and basically put the boot in, but I don't see it. I was saying to David the other day that, let's say, for instance, there's a scenario that goes against you, and you go into that volunteer day and you see the same scenario in the video analysis. A manager could say, well, in that game he decided that, but on that he decided another decision. So managers understand this. There's no doubt that there's got to be something done about the referees, because they're not great, let's be honest, and there's got to also be something done with respect at the side of the park. So I think that's one way of doing it. Listen, whether we listen to Kirk, Forbes or Clydebank, I'm pretty sure that'll be a no, but I think that is generally a route that I would go down, to start building sort of relationships there, rather than this sort of opinion of a referee or a player or a club before a ball's kicked. And I think it's something to look at, but whether they do it or not, it's another thing. I tell you right now, if it was, I wouldn't be getting an invite anyway, that's for sure.
And that's a topic that we'll park for the moment, Kirk. We'll move on to the academy, because I know that's something that quite a lot of people have asked. Gary, I'll come to you for this one. How big a role do you see the academy playing in the future of the club?
It's massive. Just to give the players a pathway into senior football. And we've actually been quite lucky at Clydebank, because we've came in and, well, the 19s are excellent. So we've built a good relationship up with the coaching staff there. And then once we got into the West of Scotland League, they've now applied to get another 20 league, which is, for Clydebank, is huge. If we're bringing an injured player back, they can go and play in that league with the 20s on a Friday night, which it helps us bring injured players back a lot quicker, because they'll be able to get some game time in. The dynamics between it all, we've got a group chat between the first team management and the 19s management, which we Paul's constant on. Paul gives a break. I'm only kidding. But Paul's very passionate, and that can only be good for Clydebank. Going forward, we're trying to build links. Paul was just in the chat today about building links with the amateur team and things like that. So, it's the future at Clydebank's really good.
And Kirk, I know that's something that you've seen firsthand. I know you've taken a couple of sessions and played with the 19s as well.
Yeah, as Gas says, we've built a brilliant relationship between John, Scott, Kyle, and Paul. They've welcomed us into the session. So I've taken a couple of sessions. I think brilliant. The boys are excellent. I think it must be a good 7 or 8 players this season from that squad who have either trained with us on a regular basis and played this season. You've got Ocean, Dylan, Adam, Cammy, Tino, Ben Cameron came in, done really well. So it's not as if we're just going there and taking sessions and then they're not getting a chance. They might not be playing as many minutes as we'd like when they come in, but just even for that experience, being around the boys and being around the gaffer and see how he operates as a manager, do you know what I mean? Paul and Scott have been brilliant in terms of availability. Times that they've maybe got a game on a Friday night and a Saturday, and we look to bring in players and they're like, no, that's fine, take it. In fact, even Paul and Scott gave me my debut a couple of weeks ago. I played in a week before lockdown. I played in a friendly for them, and honestly, it was really good playing in a friendly at home park with them and get to see their attributes. Paul let me take the team talk at half time and explain a couple of things in terms of to improve and all that. So it's been excellent, and I think we've all went to games this season and watched them. I think Gaz said at the Q&A, I think we've only missed maybe one or two games between us. Gaz went up to Dundee, Scottish Cup tie. Unfortunately, didn't go, but made the effort, drove up there. So we'll continue to back them as they back us. They're going into a really exciting league in under 20s every Friday night, I believe. So I'm pretty sure we'll be there as well. I think the good thing about the under 20s league is our first team guys. I think Gaz might correct me in this, is they're allowed to play 6 times a season in that team. So if they're coming back with injury, or we can't arrange a friendly, or they need game time, that's excellent. Not to say that we would be telling Scott and Paul, listen, they're playing. It'd be a case of he needs game time. They are. We've built a really good relationship with Paul and Scott. Excellent.
This is a question for all of you, actually. I'll come to you first, Drew. What's been the highlight of the season? Has there been a standout game for you, a standout moment after you joined?
I think when obviously the gaffer approached me to come in, and I could see the enthusiasm and his passion when he first spoke to me, and I just said yes right away. As Kirk touched on it earlier, the committee and the fans and everybody have welcomed us so well, and it's been brilliant. For me, the highlight, probably the best game of probably football that we've actually played at home was probably the Glencamp game, where we actually really scored some crank goals that we worked on at training, the passing movements and things like that. And I just thought that it was good against one of my old clubs as well, but it was just a certain things that we'd done in training that week, and it just came right in the whole 90 minutes. And for me, that would probably have been one of the highlights.
Guys, same question.
Probably the first game down, although it wasn't really our team. The first game down at Glenafton, where me and Drew were in the stand and the gaffer helped Higgy out. The fans I felt they just took to us straight away. They were so welcoming, and for that, to come into a new club, that was just a really good feeling. It settled any nerves and things like that. It was just a special feeling, and the boys got a good win that day, so it was good just coming in as newbies that the fans took to us.
And Kirk, yourself?
Highlight the season for me, it's probably my first game was away to Kirk in the Scottish, actually. Just I think I'd take training Tuesday, Thursday, and obviously Scottish Cup the turnout was brilliant. After the game, the sort of players' entrance, greeting all the players after it was a really good performance as well. Scored some cracking goals. I think that's probably when I walked away and thought, wow, this is brilliant. I think I was at Still Game live that night, and I got a photo sent to me by the gaffer and Gaz with a dog, and they were in back at supporters club with my Uncle Dukes and my mum and that, and I was just like, supporters going back and thinking. So as I said, I think I've publicly said before, it's a bit naive to me that I didn't realise how big it was, but I'd probably say my first game. In the following week after that, I was at my first home game at Cumnock, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely excellent. But Killook, Scottish Cup so far.
That then sort of shoehorns nicely into the next question we've got for you, probably, Kirky. What would you say makes Clydebank unique?
Oh, good question. Put that in. I would probably say, I'm going to be a bit of a cliche, I'd probably say everything, to be honest with you, and that's no just entertaining people with a correct answer. That's everything. The committee are absolutely top class. Brilliant. I mean, honestly, every one of them. So professional. The setup, when it's finished with the stand and the hospitality and the home changing rooms and the park alone, second to none. We want to get a team that replicates that off the park. But I think for me, when I first came in, it's starting to get to know management because the fans are so passionate. Fans support Pollock and Rangers or Celtic and Benburn or something like that. We've got fans that just support Clydebank, and I think that's the most unique thing. And I quickly got that unique, that how passionate they are. I would probably say the favourite thing about being a Bankie is being is not playing, but is being at the side and listening to them celebrate goals. I always remember the Meadow game when we played and we won 2-0, and unfortunately the game was stopped for a really horrific injury, and it was a good half an hour break. And I think about 2 minutes after that, Heppy scored to make it 1-0, and Nicky Little scored, and I'll never forget, even it was just Irvine Meadow at home, the roar that day for the 2 goals. I still watch it back. So for me, I don't remember half the goals because I'm away celebrating down the touchline. But for me, I love that roar. That's why I love it. To be honest with you, that passion that they've got, and you can really feel that. It's absolutely brilliant. And scoring goals at Clydebank at home, team behind you, and the team are playing well, and they deserve the accolades as they have done this season at certain times. That's unique for me.
Guys, looking forward to next season. Obviously, we don't quite know when that's going to be just yet. But obviously, everyone's moving into the new West of Scotland League. Is that something that's exciting for you guys?
Oh, definitely. It's never been a secret. That's been Clydebank's aim. When me and the gaffer went in for our interview, I just tagged along, by the way. I wasn't meant to go, but I just did. We went in, and Grace and Caskie and Tracy, they just ooze class, and we spoke about where we seen Clydebank going, and the gaffer played there, so he knows where the fans want to be, and that's been back a senior team. And next season we'll back be a senior team. But for me, we don't stop at that. We see Clydebank as a massive, massive club, and which they are, and we feel that they deserve to be back in the leagues, and we hopefully put a team on the park that will take us there.
And I guess, Drew, that then means that all the sort of preparation and discussions just sort of goes towards pre-season whenever that can actually happen.
Definitely.
Well,
Sorry, Drew.
Well, we've already started. Obviously, the discussions with regards to pre-seasons has been ongoing already. We've already had a couple of chats and meetings with regards to what players we would like to bring in, the squad, etc., dates with regards to friendlies, etc., and things like that. We had a Zoom chat. The management had a Zoom chat on Saturday with regards to taking it to that stage further. Obviously, everything's a wee bit kind of unknown with regards to the lockdown. It looks possibly maybe mid-June we can maybe get going again. If we get going in mid-June, then it'll be all systems go. Kirk and I have already, we've been in discussions. We've been keeping our social distancing while we've been out doing some bits and pieces at Vicky Park. So there's a number of runs and things like that we've all measured and all times. So he's the guinea pig. Obviously, I would expect everybody in the squad to beat him. So, but as I say, it's getting there. It's getting there, and we will be well prepared. We will be well prepared.
And finally, Kirky, have you got a sort of a message to the fans so far for their support this season and obviously over the summer break?
Listen, they've been brilliant so far since we've come in. Absolutely brilliant. They are probably itching at the bit to be back, as we all are. They have been crying out to go back senior for as long as I can remember, and we are going to need them next year. That is no doubt about it. We need them at home park. We need them away, season tickets and stuff like that when we know what league we're in and stuff. And I'm sure they will. I'm sure fans that maybe haven't been there the last couple of seasons because it's not senior, then I hope they come back. And I'm hoping that we can repay that faith with an exciting team in the park, and that they want to enjoy and talk about, because we know how much is important it is. And the players will need to take that on as well. The players that are there just now and the players that we'll bring in, they need to take that responsibility on. It's Clydebank are now back senior. That's a really big step for the club. They're part of the squad for next year, are part of a new sort of journey in Clydebank's history, so to speak. They need to take that on board. That it's not just, we all need to take it on board. It's not just turning up and playing for Clydebank. You're playing for, an institution. You're playing for a community. They need to know what it's all about, and I'm sure the fans will appreciate that. As long as they see a team giving 100% week in, week out, regardless of circumstances, regarding where we're playing, then I think they'll be proud of it. And rest assured that the five of us are sort of building a team towards giving them a bit of success back that they're badly craving.
Well, I think that's a nice place to wrap it up for this evening. I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight. Thanks to everyone who tuned in or asked a question. Hopefully we managed to get around just about everyone. Just leave this to say thanks, and we'll see you soon, hopefully.
Thanks very much, David.
Yes.
Thanks,
Cheers, guys. Cheers.